Evil Squid Comics Podcast. We are part of the Collector's Maze Network.
Don.
Scott.
Andrew.
Now that we're done.
All right. I read Harpy. I couldn't even tell you who it's by.
EPHK.
There you go.
Oh, Scott took this book.
I did take this
That
book.
was the one I passed on.
You did
And
pass on
Scott
it.
grabbed it.
And I took it because there wasn't much else to read. But honestly,
You loved it.
I don't know that
Greatest
I loved
thing
it,
ever.
but it was good.
Best book you've read all
I
year.
enjoyed it. I mean, it doesn't get too wordy. It moves pretty fast.
It's pretty long, though.
It is fairly long,
It's
but
a thick fucking book.
But it goes fast. I was surprised. I mean, I bet you I read this whole thing in an hour or so.
Oh.
So
Wow.
pretty close.
Speed reader.
The basic gist of it is
Skipped every
kind of
other
like
panel.
a futuristic, maybe a little post-apocalyptic. Maybe not though. I mean,
Well,
but
Blade
definitely
Runner-ish.
definitely futuristic thing. You know, it's kind of Blade Runner or what Fifth Element. You know, something like that, where you got these big buildings. You know, cityscapes, everything going on, and you got a character who
The
is
Jetsons.
you got a female, not quite there, but you got this female detective who is investigating a murder, and she's got an assistant there, or I don't know, a fellow detective, as well, that seems to be pretty sharp guy, good at technology and other items. She's kind of like the muscle, out of the hair, and anyway, a particular like Asian guy gets killed, and they think it may be like some gang, or something. And so she's investigating that and trying to get into the underworld and figure out who's doing what. But in the meantime, she's also having like these blackouts that happen, in which she just, whatever. She knocks out, she can't remember stuff, comes to, doesn't know what the hell happened. So anyway, she gets convinced by, I don't know, some triad group throughout here as she's chasing things down to go actually back to her original where she was born, someplace in China or something like that, and to try to track down a little bit more of her past history. Well, as she does that, she comes to find this like little village and things, and when she goes there, she finds out that there was like this slaughter of a bunch of people that happened, and it was by like it was kind of almost like a Tiananmen, is that what it was? Squares,
Tiananmen Square.
yeah,
Tiananmen Square.
slaughter type of scenario in which a bunch of students, and things got killed by the police force. And so there was this professor who was trying to work on like a time travel technology, and he was trying to find out if he could try to get back there to before that time of the slaughter to try to stop it. But he was never successful. Well, there's the big twist at the end. If you care, do I want to say big spoiler alert
I
or
don't
whatever
care.
else? Is the big twist is that this girl actually was able to use this time travel technology, and she ends up going back, and she is actually the murderer that's murdering all these Asian people that have like long fled China, and because they were all like the police officers involved in this slaughter, so it was all a big revenge thing of taking them out.
But she didn't have a memory of that.
But she didn't have memory of that.
So it had a weird twist at the end. I think that's what kind of threw me. It was kind of a cool twist.
It was. It was.
It was kind of confusing.
Yeah, it is because of the fact that she's jumping back in her body at certain points in time, throughout there, wherever she was like kind of close. And I mean, that's where it gets really confusing, is because it all starts off with her trying to, it doesn't really start off, but there's a case in there in which she remembers her father committing suicide, at least what she thought was suicide, and that her father, and that was part of, and her knew her father was, a police officer and things, and she, that was part of the reason why she became a police officer. Well, you come to find out that it's one of her murders that she does when she's doing these time jumps back into her old body, basically at certain points in time. She jumps back to her body when she's a little girl, and she actually kills her father because he was one of the officers that was part of the butcher there of, murders.
You
and
read
so
this
that is the
like
that
2 months ago.
So
you don't remember 2 months ago?
No, it was pretty confusing.
yeah.
There's a lot going on, right?
Quite a bit, I don't know. I mean, you do, especially the twist at the end. You've really got to
Lock in.
lock in and be really focused to kind of catch what's going on, because I felt like it moved so fast. They kind of really breeze on that, like boom, 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 and it's like, whoa, hold on. Did what happen? Just I had to slow down there and take a look at it. The art's fairly cool, though. It's fairly stylized. Works kind of well in this environment that they kind of got. It almost has this strange anime feel, even though it's not really anime art. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
With it going on.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, I wouldn't say it's the greatest thing, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it
I
wasn't
thought
bad.
it
That's
was, yeah.
kind of how I was. It wasn't bad, but it was kind of confusing a little bit.
Yeah, I could see
So,
that. I could see that.
so I didn't do a review on it because I was like, I wasn't sure. Probably just.
Oh, okay.
So I'm glad you figured it out.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.